and welcome to TK24 Sports. Coming up on today's show, we're going to be talking about Manchester United, and I'm going to try and be objective about them in the best way possible, really. And I'm going to be kicking off, let's just get into it. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be there come January. I really don't. And again, I'm trying to be objective about this, but I just can't see it. The way they play football is really boring. They're now a counter-attacking team rather than an attacking team. They spent a lot of money on their defence and it hasn't worked out. I mean, pretty much, when you're spending 85 million on a defender, then 50 million on the right back, I mean, you'd expect some sort of improvement, but they really and truly is not an improvement. But the same argument was went for Arsenal, spend a load of money on defenders and everything will be fine. It doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. If your setup is not that great, then it doesn't make a difference if you spend 80, 60, 100, 150 on a defender or defenders. If your setup is not right, you're not going to win games. If you sell your best striker at the club, you're not going to win games. If your best midfielder is not buying into it, you're not going to win games. And if your scrub of a defender or Phil Jones is on, in the stands and you've got your direction in front of you and that defender is saying sacked in the morning, you're not going to win any games. And by and large, you're not going to buy the confidence of the players as well. That's why I think Solskjaer is not going to be the manager come January. But again, being objective, I'm going to try to be. I'm going to try to be on this show. But let's just get into their stats for the start of the season. I'm not going to look at last season because last season's last season. So I'm going to look at this season. They played 6 games. They won 2, drawn 2, and lost 2. They scored 8 and let in 6. So they got a +2 going on their side already. They beat Chelsea 4-0 at the start of the season. That scoreline flattered them. It really did. They then drew away to Wolves 1-0. Then lost at home to Palace 2-1. Drew away to Southampton. Could have lost that game. And of course, beat Leicester 1-0 by penalty. Not so convincing. And then of course lost just this weekend to West Ham 2-0. Very, very comfortable win for the Hammers. It was a comfortable win. And if you're a United fan or just a person that's watching the game, you too would have said that was quite easy and comfortable for West Ham. So why do I think Solskjaer is going to be fired come January? It's just his brand of football. The players don't believe in him. And it's quite obvious. So like I said, if that's one player in the stand that can turn around and say sacked in the morning, what are all the other players talking about before training, after training, on their little WhatsApp groups and so forth? I wouldn't say it's all of them, but I could say maybe about 99% of the team would be saying the same thing. The fans have no confidence. They have no confidence in their style of play. Now, when you first came in and they started winning a few games, and then, of course, had that heroic win over Paris Saint-Germain, I think a lot of people said, yeah, this is the guy given the job. But then again, people in the media were saying they got to give him the contract, he's got the team, he's got the United philosophy, he knows all about it, win, 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 win. And now the guy starts losing, now they're saying, oh, no, God, they should never give him the contract. Oh, no, gosh, what have they done? A big mistake. What are United doing? See, that's a problem when it comes to the media side of things. So as you're watching me saying, I think Solskjaer's going to get the sack, I'm saying he's going to get the sack because of the way he's playing and because the players are not buying into him. I'm not saying that he's a bad manager. I'm just saying he just hasn't built up that cachet for these players to say, you know what, I'm going to run through a brick wall for you. Yes, you played for United before. All right, we get all that. You was a great goal scorer, but we just don't believe in the football that you want to play. I mean, who wants to get rid of Lukaku? Why would you get rid of a top striker if you can't replace him? I guess that's the United way. Now, the next thing I want to point out is you're going to pin your hopes on Marcus Rashford. You gave him a big, massive contract. And I don't believe the contract should reflect on the way you play, and though in many people's eyes it should. The contract that's been given is because there was held to ransom. What else could they do? The guy could either leave to go abroad or he could go to one of your rivals. But then again, you should also know that Marcus Rashford is not a guy that you play as the so-called number 9 or the guy through the middle. He's not your leading striker. That was Lukaku. Yes, he may have slowed down the play when it came up to him, but guess what? He held the ball up, he laid it off, and he can get into the box. Or he can make a few assists here and there. And that's what you've let go of, United. That is what you decided to let go. So all the fans that were booing Lukaku, who said he was rubbish, he had a poor touch and so forth, he's licking it up now in Italy, isn't he? He's scoring goals, he's scoring penalties, which is something that you've been struggling to do. Only converted 1 so far this season. He's scoring headers. He's left foot, right foot. The guy is scoring goals. And that's what you've let go. So start looking at yourself, United and United fans. Again, I'm going to try and be objective when I say this, trying to be objective. What is it that you want? Yes, you want to win. Yes, you want to get back to the glory days of United, but you have to understand one thing. Those days have gone. You have to rebuild yourself again. You're going to have to find a new identity. You're going to have to find yourself one more time, or maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. It's going to take a few seasons to get yourself back to the, not going to say the glory days, but to a fighting chance to compete again. But also remember this, United fans. Every time you go after a player, you're going to have to overpay to get that player. You've done it in Wan-Bissaka, and you've already done it in, of course, Harry Maguire. And that's just my opinion. You paid way over the odds for those sort of players. They're not worth the 85 and the 50 odd million that you pay for them. And, you know, that's unfortunate for you. You have money. You keep on flaunting it. You know, you're one of the richest clubs. That's no secret to anyone. So you're going to have to overpay to get every player that you want. But anyway, that's me being objective today. I don't know what your thoughts are. You must be going to turn and say, what was objective about that? But I've done my best. Thank you today for watching TK24 Sports. Have a great day.